Music is the fuel for life's emotional journey. The right song can lift you up, bring you down, or make you feel like a natural. But in some songs, one moment is all it takes to send you into pure elation. In this episode, we want to know, what are the music drops that bring you up?
Puff the magic dragon, live by the sea. Something in a place land on Honolulu.
Pina coladas.
Yes, sir. That's the song, and that's the opening of the episode.
Hey guys, guess what we're talking about today? What are we talking about today, Clayton?
Welcome to the show that fuses education and pop culture to lift you out of the doldrums and into the upward spiral.
Pretty good, pretty good.
Did I do
First
it?
time.
First try?
Yeah, that was the exact thing.
Never do it. I don't even use the right words.
You knolled it, as we used to say
Thank you.
on a traditional podcast that once existed called the Bio-Friendly Podcast.
Oh, the Bio-Friendly Podcast.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
It was a very good show.
It was a good show.
And
It's worth checking that one out.
It is. There's an archive out there. Yes. We would always say knolled it.
Knolled it. Thanks, pal.
yeah.
Yeah, we've advanced. We've grown.
We've grown. Yeah, that was our baby show.
It was our baby show when we were still learning.
Yes.
For 6 years.
For
200.
No, it's 5 years almost
for 5
exactly.
years.
Yeah.
My gosh.
250 something episodes.
Yeah, that's a lot of there. It's fun. It's good content. If you want to get a good laugh and learn a thing or two about the environment, that was an environmental podcast.
Yeah,
it wasn't just about lifting you out of the doldrums like this one.
Right.
That one was just.
Well, what we realized is we saved the world, but people were still bummed out.
Yeah.
So like, what's the point of living in a saved world if everybody's like, man, everything sucks?
Yes. Now that we've saved the planet, let's
We
now
gotta save the people.
humanity, and that's what the show's about.
But we did focus on the right thing first. It was like when the oxygen mask drops down from the plane, it's like you got to put it on yourself before you put it on your kid. Right. You can't save the kid. You got to save yourself
You gotta
first.
save yourself before you can save your children. So
Yeah.
we are currently wearing oxygen masks.
Yes. We're trying to save.
Now we're trying to put on yours.
We're trying to put it on yours. Exactly. Yep.
Upper Spiral putting on oxygen masks since 2024.
It's 2024.
Hey, Jakey, why do you have a Kleenex box on
Because the show excites me. No, I have it because I have it with me because I have a track record of getting weepy on the show, and so I have to. Yes, I weep for the future. I keep this close because I just don't know, and I don't know if I'm going to cry today, but I feel like there's a good chance because you did mention up top what we're doing. We're talking about drops, and as in drops that come in.
When the beat
Drops that are in music.
Today we're talking about that moment in a song that drops and gives you that feeling in your heart that goes like, and then you are launched immediately without ever even trying into the upward spiral.
So not Jupiter.
No, not Drops of
that
Jupiter.
could be your song.
It definitely is not.
I'm not saying
I usually speak very kindly, but that one is not going to land in my list.
Not
anywhere.
on your list,
Nope.
but if someone else loves
But someone
it.
else loves it. It's okay because I'm here in the upward spiral, and I'm going to high five you as we Drops of Jupiter in her hair all the way up the train.
The best soy latte that you ever had in me.
Exactly.
So tell me.
You're not gonna yuck someone else's yum.
I'm never going to yuck your yum. If you like,
because you know how it feels.
if you like
right?
Train and you like Drops of Jupiter, then
I actually
fantastic.
like Train a lot, and I do like the song Drops of Jupiter.
And
there.
and we are still friends.
Yeah.
And that's all there's to it.
we're still friends. We still get along usually.
Did he actually die recently? The
No,
train
not
died?
him. Not someone in the band
No.
did though.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but not the lead singer. No, it was.
I haven't been paying attention to
I'm
the
so sorry. I
Train.
don't remember which one. I don't. One of them did pass away.
Okay.
recently.
We asked the question, which was, what is a moment in music? Because this isn't one episode on music. I think we could come back to music and things that are about Upward Spiral, launching the Upward Spiral on tons of things. Favorite songs that remind you of something.
Yeah.
We could talk about the song in its entirety, an entire album, something like that. But when this question was posed to us, it was like, what is that drop? What is that sound? What is that moment? So we're really distilling this down to a few seconds. Of music.
Although I'll admit that when I gave mine to Clayton, I started a little earlier than a few seconds. So
That's fine.
It's just,
That's fine. You got
It's about 4.5 minutes long of a drop,
Oh
so
my
it's fine. It's
God.
fine.
Right
It's
drop.
the ending of Bohemian Rhapsody.
It's a long drop.
Yeah, no. So that's fine because you gotta ramp up. If we're gonna launch you gotta have the and then go, right?
Yes.
So this
Jakey's is nice and short, by the way. He's
very
short and
short,
sweet.
very short. Because when asked the question,
Jakey's good at following directions.
no, this is
I'm
it.
terrible. I used to have trouble in school. They'd
No,
say, doesn't
no.
follow instructions.
You're You're our brightest member here on the show. Yes, you shine like a lighthouse.
That's great.
But when it comes to music, if you get me going on music, all right, you know what I'll do? I'll just be like, it's got to be.
I was saying before the show started, and I cut myself off.
Okay.
That I'm a very lucky person to know you. I am. It's such, and there's a
Thank God for the Kleenex, man. Here it comes.
There's 1,000 reasons why that's the case. There are. I don't want to go into the other 999. The one I'm going to specifically say is your wealth of knowledge in music has been such a joy for my life because I'm sitting around minding my own business, just like hanging out,
Right.
usually drunk.
Yeah. It's nice to see you sober for once.
Yeah, here I am. As far as you know.
5 minutes earlier.
The day ain't over yet.
No, it's just sitting around minding my own business, and then you'll be like, "Oh, hey, have you heard this one?" And you'll play something, and I'll be like, "Oh my God!" And literally, two things happen. One, no, I've never heard it before.
Yeah.
That's the first one. And the second one is like, how have I never heard this one before? Because it's my new favorite song.
I love it.
Yes.
I love it. It's an honor to do that, and thank you so much. And
Yeah.
I'm glad that you appreciate it.
Yeah.
So
You should get on Instagram, Jake.
I've been
honestly.
thinking about
I
it.
don't know.
It's a skill that's been pretty useless up until the past few years. Like that's the funny thing is when I was 25 and songs would just suddenly play and I'd be like, "Hey, oh, this fastball, the way." People were like, "I care why."
Does that matter?
But suddenly, 25 years later, it becomes a very powerful skill on social
And
media.
everybody and their mother wants to hear you talk about
They
it.
want to hear me talk about
They
bands.
do.
Yes. But we should get to the drops.
Back to the drops.
Get to the drops.
Let's do it.
I don't know what order we're going in here.
We're going to start with Jakey
We're starting out
because
with me?
Jakey takes directions well, Noli.
Wait. We always start with Jakey, and I think we should start with Clayton.
All right. So, this one I heard, a long time ago, 2005, and
right.
heard it, and I was like, wow, this is a really hard song. This is great. This is so good. And then suddenly it took me into the upward spiral, into the ether, I was like, I'm flying, and here it is. Here we go. And suddenly I'm like, wait, what's happening? What's happening? I'm flying! I'm flying! Oh God! Oh God! Oh God! Totally.
Clayton has escaped Earth. He's escaped velocity's been reached. He's gone.
Oh my God.
The harmony.
It's just
Stockholm Syndrome from Muse.
That song is something. Okay, so just so the audience knows, on occasion we hang out outside of the show.
Yeah, lots.
Seems unbelievable.
Right.
But
That we would not be sick of each other after the workday.
But somehow
Right.
we're not.
Yeah.
Somehow we're not. In fact, we see each other 24 hours a day, and I want more.
I want more.
But that is a song that when we do karaoke day, sometimes if we're feeling crazy, yes, we have a karaoke day. What?
What are we gonna do about it?
We and whoever other guests we invite and whether children are around get to do karaoke. And
Right.
so we do karaoke.
Yes.
Sometimes when we're lucky, this song will be thrown on, and it's actually kind of a blast because then we like that moment where we're all like picking a spot in the harmony, and we're like,
just. Oh my God. It
Oh my
is
God.
unbelievable. And that part does take you off world.
Oh, that's a great way of putting it. It
Yeah.
really does. You have the feeling of elation when you hear that.
It is. If you've never been tractor beamed by a ship, that's what the tractor beam sounds like.
That's what it feels like, man.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because the song is hard.
It is.
It is like
it is. Yeah,
like
it
such
just,
a growl
it just
to
goes
it, but then
and
it goes
goes and goes and
it
goes.
stops being that way.
Fantastic choice. Absolutely takes me into the upward spiral.
Well done, Clayton.
All right,
done.
baby. Jiggy.
It's me this time,
baby.
We're going back even further than Clayton, and when he threw out the date 2004, 2005, and we were like, "That's a long time ago." This is
It is
even
a long time ago.
longer time ago.
What?
This is 1992
Oh my God,
into
you were a
93.
baby, maybe 13 years old.
I know, and this was a life-changing sound.
Okay.
A sound. Interesting.
Okay.
And this is it.
All right.
I wish I was special.
Here it is.
You're so very special. But I'm a creep. I'm a widow. What the hell am I doing here? I don't belong here. I don't care if it hurts.
Oh my God.
It does hurt. It hurts. That strike, that guitar hit by Mr. Johnny Greenwood changed everything. And so when we asked for a sound,
Yeah.
and here's the thing, you would hear a song like Creep and be like, it kind of gives you the blues. It's kind of mopey. It's kind of the grunge, you know, like the emotions of the time.
Yes.
But that sound doesn't do that to me. That sound doesn't take me down. It takes me up.
Which is interesting in the context of a song like that.
Right,
Where
right.
you are kind of in more of a...
It is a more kind of
melodious,
introspective,
laid back,
introspective kind of like a song that you listen to in the dark in your room with a candle lit. And you're
Yes.
crying because you don't know why she doesn't
Why
return your
doesn't she?
calls.
Yeah,
you know,
she
why does
doesn't
she like
understand
you?
you.
Because
Yes.
you wrote her a
She's
note and you
upset
said,
when
"Do
you're
you like
sitting
me?"
outside her
Her
window.
skin makes me cry. Her skin makes me cry. You wrote her a note that said, "Do you like me?" Yes, no, and she circled no,
She
and
circled
you're still
no.
looking at it, and her tears are staining it.
She's so
Yeah.
freaking special.
She's so freaking special. Yes, with other choice
But I'm
words
a
that were
creep.
used. But I'm a creep.
I'm a weirdo.
So that song, it has a kind of
what the hell am I doing here?
How am I doing it?
belong here.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
She's running out the door.
it's the Weird Al take on this song. Did Weird Al ever tackle Creep? Did he ever do a version or anything?
No.
Wait, was he? Is that on a polka that he did?
I bet you it's in a polka. I feel like he hits like 20 songs at a time in a polka where he's like, I'm a
don't know
creep,
if it
I'm a
is.
weirdo. What the hell am I doing here?
I don't think he did.
I don't think he did either.
I don't, because I think I would have.
Get
I would have
Weird Al
remembered.
on the phone.
He could do a
He
full
could do
Radiohead
it
polka.
30 years later. This song has an interesting kind of story behind it that, if you don't mind, I'll tell you a little bit about it.
We
Okay.
get the benefit of having a Jacob in our
You
lives.
get to have
though.
a Jacob Givens on Upward Spiral.
This is it.
So this song, famously, the band does not enjoy playing and really grew resentful towards it, and just recently have kind of come to grips with it 31, 32 years later, where they're now letting it, you know, it was in the Guardians of the Galaxy with the
Yeah.
acoustic version, and then Tom York released one in 2021 that had a time stretch acoustic. It's very warbly and weird. It's very cool. But so they're in the studio and they're recording Pablo Honey, and they've got these two record producers in the room at the time, and they finish playing the song, and it's a song that Tom York wrote in the late 1980s about kind of liking this girl that came to a Radiohead show, because they started in 85.
Okay.
And late
You're
1980s.
kidding? That early?
1985.
See how long it takes sometimes?
Takes a minute, right? So they're in.
Remember that, kids. I'm
Yeah.
sorry to cut you off,
No,
but remember
yeah.
that. Sometimes it takes years.
It took
for your
Radiohead a
dream
minute
to come through. True.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
So
And they're Radiohead.
They're
And
Radiohead.
that's Radiohead.
Right.
Jeez.
So they start in 85, and he's you know, he's written this song because he talked about it was hard being a male in the 90s when you have sensitivities towards like women's feelings and emotions and stuff, because you don't want to come, like, you like them, but you don't want to come across like too aggressive. So you
Right.
have this weird, like, I want you, but I have to negate that at the same time. So everything I do makes me feel like a creep. And so it was like kind of self-identifying. So
I think a lot of people could probably relate to that.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So he writes a song. He's not really that proud of it. And when they're playing it in their rehearsals while recording the album, the producers are like, this is the best song
the
they've
single.
got.
Yeah.
And just joking with his bandmates, they say, oh, it just sounds like a Walker Brothers song or whatever, which is just a British kind of, you know, singer-songwriter, kind of more accessible. And so the record producers misunderstand and they think, oh, it's a cover. So they go like, well, we're not going to be putting that song on the album because it's a cover. So they're in the studio, they're laying down the songs, and they're like, why don't you play that Creep one? So they don't tell the band that they're recording the song.
Shut up. No freaking way.
So they're in the studio and they're playing it, and there's just no awareness that they're being recorded. So there's a very earnest performance in there because there's no knowledge that this is for a take. Johnny Greenwood thinks the song is so slow and boring that during the part, he's doing that because he's angry and annoyed that it's boring. So he starts hitting his guitar out of frustration.
Yes.
Making just an angry sound. Because he's like, this song sucks, dude. And he's just like, bum, bum, like that. So they get this and they're like, yeah, we recorded it, but we know it's a cover. And then the band has to explain. Tom York's like, it's not a cover. It's my song. And they're like, oh, you said it sounded like a Walker Brothers song. And he was like, no, I was just saying it sounds like that. And they're like, oh, this has to go on the album. And the band is not that enthusiastic about it at all because Tom's like, I wrote this years ago. I feel like we've grown more. I don't want it to, I don't want this to be the thing. The producers take that piece of distorted guitar and they amp it up even louder. And this song keeps getting pushed out there as a single without the band really wanting it to happen at all.
Wow.
And so what's so interesting about this really is the song chooses you. You don't choose the song. You know what I mean? It's like they may have been resentful, but they could not have anticipated how powerful that song was for so many people. Right. And that sound, a sound out of frustration would just strike people and be like, wow, it did me. And it did millions of others.
Here's the accident in that moment, right?
Yeah.
So the song is about somebody struggling with their ability to communicate with someone who they love.
Yeah.
And who doesn't seem to love them back, or if she does,
even notice you.
He can't get that there.
Right.
What could be more frustrating?
And there's frustration in that sound. Yeah. And so my 13-year-old brain didn't extrapolate all that information. All I could hear was what was a lightning strike. It was just literally like it hit me. It took me by surprise. And so whenever I hear that to this day, it just hits me right here because I'm like, it was so unexpected. And it launches me into the upward spiral because it's just jarring in the best possible way, not in a bad way, not in I'm going to go cry or be upset. It really does make me go like, and then we get to the, of course, Tom York's bellowing out note, whatever. And then the last thing I'll say about the song before we moved on, which is while they were in the studio and they were laying it down and all that stuff, they got to the mid section of the song and they were very much doing the chord progressions and they were like, oh, this sounds like The Air That I Breathe by the Hollies. And they just kind of adjusted the song. And then because it keeps getting pushed as a single, they don't even think about how they had that conversation really. And then sure enough, the publishing of the Hollies, all that I need is The Air That I Breathe comes out and says, we're suing you because you stole the melody from our song.
Oh no.
And they go like this. They go, yeah, we were in the studio and we totally thought it sounded like that. So we'll give you writing credits. No problem. And because they owned up, they were like, oh, never mind. We'll just take a percentage of the royalties and they let it go. Yeah. Yeah, so they because they weren't pushing that as a single like the band, you know what I mean? So like when they're screwing around and they're like, well, this does kind of sound like The Air That I Breathe. They were like, well, it's fine to add it in here, but when it became so big and they got called out for it, they were like, yeah, we absolutely did. You can have writing credit on it. Yeah. And that's creep.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. That's freaking amazing. And it was like that was their first big single.
That put them on the map.
Without that, they're probably still a band you've never heard of from 1985.
I think so. They went on to do even better music and grow, but you really have to give credit to that first piece of music.
But you know what's funny?
Yeah.
The Bends, right?
Yeah.
Which came out next, right?
Came out next.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that album.
So the Bends is incredible.
Yeah.
But you have to give the Bends a chance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
particularly at that time. I know, like it's hard to believe that in context now when you know who Radiohead is, right? And you know what they're all about.
Give Bends a chance,
because it wasn't the same as the hit.
Yeah.
Right. It wasn't the same at all.
Yeah.
So you had to sort of be willing to listen to the album a couple times and be like, oh,
yes,
and then get it.
Yeah.
Right. Which are the best albums, by the way, when you have to listen to them a couple times before you get it.
Everything after that. I mean, then you go to OK Computer. Everything after that is not as accessible at all. It's very out there.
But because you took the time to accept the Bends, you could accept everything else.
Yes,
like
exactly.
because it was in the same vein. Is that a good way to put it? For me anyway. Like I remember listening to the Bends, I was like, oh, this isn't the same as I was thinking it would be. But I also was very into music.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, let me hear it again. And I remember after listening to it the second time, I was just like, oh my God,
it's amazing.
This album's incredible.
Yeah, they just got better and better.
Yeah.
And why they called it the Bends is, which is the depressurization sickness from coming up too fast. They named it that because Creep made them get popular too fast.
Oh, wow.
They said it made them sick.
Wow.
So they said,
Oh, holy crap.
Yeah, that's why it's called the Bends, because they rose to stardom faster than their bodies could handle.
Oh.
And so they were experiencing
My
the
God.
Bends.
Dude, holy crap. That's incredible.
Well,
There you
I can tell you. I mean, Creep is the reason that I bought the Benz.
Yeah.
And Creep is the reason that I gave it a chance.
Yeah.
And now I'm a huge nut for Radiohead.
Radiohead,
So I sometimes you just sometimes you have to let the money person
Yeah.
just be like we're playing. Just
Let us make this a
just do
single.
Just
Yeah.
do this.
And I think now that it's been so long, the band, when asked, they played it like once in 2001, once in 2009, once in 2016. But when asked about it now, they're like, now we've gotten enough distance from it that when it feels right to play it, we will. But they just had to let it go. They had to have the Bends
now that they're in
heal.
their 60s.
Yeah, right. I know. It's been a long ass time. So anyway, so that was my piece of music.
Ah, so good, buddy.
Yeah.
So
My
good.
song is called "Drops of Jupiter" by Train.
No, Jakey, it's okay, Jakey, it's okay.
That beat bumped in the atmosphere. Drop a duper hey, yeah. It's just how he starts the song with like the. It's like it's just like the consonants on it. It's so funny. All right.
All right, Nelly, what you got
so
there, baby?
context. When this album came out, I was a heartbroken mess.
Oh, my.
Yes.
Yes.
And whether or not the album was intended to be for someone who was a heartbroken mess,
Sure.
for me it was.
Okay.
And I can't wait until you hear it and you tell me the history of it because I know you know it.
Okay.
Because it is a 90s song.
Oh, good.
Okay.
Good.
The album that this came from happened to be something where I could listen to it over and over again and it helped me heal, I guess.
Yeah.
This song is the song on the album that hit me hardest when that was going on.
Okay.
And this particular drop is one of those drops where when you are, in my opinion, suffering, this does the opposite a little bit of what I think Clayton's does, where it's low and it's quiet and and then it just suddenly kind of goes.
Yeah.
And I remember sitting in my car driving back and forth from college and just screaming along to this song
All right.
for this moment.
Yeah.
All right, baby, here we go.
I thought the older women would like me if I did. You see, I'm a good little boy. It's all your fault, Mama. It's all your fault. Goddamn, this business is really lame. I gotta live on an island to find the truth. So you send me your love. Come on, rock world, so I can live on words and dreams and a million screams. Oh, how I need a hand to mine to feel. Why are you so far away from me? Why are you so far away from me? I could never touch you. Think you would be wrong. I've got your letter. You've got no song. I've got your letter. I've got your letter. You've got my song.
That song breaks me
It's
every
awesome.
time.
It's amazing. Yeah.
Holy crap.
Solid choice.
So this is actually kind of musically for me.
Yeah.
This is the same as the Benz. It just happened to hit me harder because of the type of album it was, the context.
Yeah.
I've actually lost my
Yeah,
breath.
oh,
from
yeah,
screaming.
yeah, I was exhausted at this point.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it was an album where you had to give it a chance,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because the Blue Album was a hit factory.
Oh yeah.
It's perfect.
Like every single song in the Blue Album, you're like, I love this song. I can listen to this song. Every song was so catchy.
It's the Beach Boys with distortion. It's
Totally.
literally the most accessible, like right there for you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This album is not.
No.
This album is like
It's a mess.
it's a
It's
funky,
sloppy.
creative, wild, weird experience.
Yeah.
From a brilliant person in a very bad place.
Absolutely.
And And even the way they chose to record it, it's like they recorded it in a garage band with like a 4-track and
Totally.
and with
It just
crappy mics.
doesn't sound slick. It doesn't sound polished. There's noise. There's people talking and shouting.
Yes, and it's better because of it.
Absolutely.
Because of the heart that it gives the whole album.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think that this song for me was a huge musical education because I was like, oh my God, it doesn't have to be
Yeah.
a hit.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be polished. It doesn't have to be perfect. It has to be what it is.
Yep.
And so I love this album. This is my waterproof record.
This
which
is your
one day
waterproof
I hope
record.
to go on.
You're gonna
this
come on my show. Yep.
Waterproof Records, which is a bigger podcast than ours.
Yeah. Well, but that's
That-
just because we're just
Give us
starting out.
time.
Yeah. Give us time. Give us time.
But this is like, there's so much about it. I don't want to talk about it too much because
Yeah.
I know that we'll do it on your show later. But
Yeah.
I love that song.
Yes, this is an amazing choice, and Pinkerton is hands down my favorite Weezer album of all time. And just like you said, it was not well received when it came out, and it like completely fractured Rivers and like his ability to even songwrite, because after how well the Blue Album went, and then we're on Pinkerton, he was like questioned everything about his abilities and skills as a songwriter, and wouldn't gain that cult-like status until years later.
Right.
you
Yeah,
know?
and then he wrote songs like Hash Pipe,
Right,
and
and
Beverly
so
Hills,
and
and we
those
all
are
go,
which I'm never gonna yuck your yum.
No.
But it's
No, they're-
not his best work, but that might be good for some.
Those are good moneymakers.
Those are good moneymakers. He needed some moneymakers.
Those
after
are
that.
good.
Yeah.
Those are good moneymakers. He's just.
Yeah.
It's frustrating when you know how talented he
How
actually
talented?
is.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. But when I heard that song kicking off, I was like, yeah, this is more than a drop. This is a whole vibe. This
It's
is
kind of
a-
anthem,
yeah.
after drop
Yeah,
after drop.
It is.
Yeah.
This is getting assaulted with drops.
Well, that's kind of why when Clayton said pick the moment,
Yeah.
I was like, oh God. Because it is.
Yeah.
It's like it's drop
Totally.
after drop.
It's drop after drop. It's relentless.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
relentless. And it's so the way that it builds and the way that he cries out, it is so visceral and it is so real. It's amazing. It's amazing. And so I love that it takes you and lifts you up and you belt it out in your car. That's amazing. That's
man.
actually-
Yeah. Do you know what a funny experience this was when we were given the assignment
Mm-hmm.
to find a song with a drop?
Yeah.
You don't realize how many songs have great drops until someone says, pick your favorite song
Oh, yeah.
with a drop.
Oh yeah. I was hem and hawing on what to choose.
Yeah.
There's just
Okay, how about this? What if we make this drop episode 1? Yeah. We could do another drop episode.
Here's the thing, audience. These boys also did musical theater like I did and have a lot of background in music that's not even from when we were born.
Right.
You know, there's music from before we were born that have moments. Like if you're thinking of a drop, it's just a moment. And that can be in a classical piece of music, that can be in a musical, that could be in something from 1958 where you heard it because your mom played it in the kitchen while she was baking cookies and you're like, every time I hear that, I Ratatouille.
Yeah.
I just get I'm just like I'm a child again, you know. So that is
Well put.
So if we did these, I think that if you said, okay, it's the drop that maybe the future episodes are, it's the drop that Jupiter had in
Put
her
in
hair.
her hair.
Absolutely. We got to find another songwriter to put the song drop of something in it. But anyway, I like this challenge. We'll do another one in the future.
Finally, I get to put some Maroon 5 on this show.
Oh,
No, don't
finally.
you dare,
Finally.
you son of a
I
gun.
can't wait. I just took an Adam Levine earlier.
Ladies and gentlemen, we cannot tell you what that means.
I think they're smart.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Oh, this has been so
All
fun.
right, audience out there in YouTube land, let us know what is your favorite drop, and we might just agree with you and do it on drop number 2.
That's
Not
right.
that we're gonna drop a number 2,
Yeah.
but you know,
Well, I
No,
just
we're not just dropped an Adam Levine a second ago.
we're leaving this in. We are leaving this in.
I'm fine. I'm not yucking your yum, but I may yuck a dude every now and then.
Like I said before, I love the song Payphone. I do. I'm not going to apologize for it.
You don't have to. You
I'm not
don't
gonna
have. You
apologize
don't
for
have
it.
to. We're still friends.
I just wanted to say before we disappear for another week that to me, music is probably the quickest and easiest way to launch yourself into the upward spiral.
Absolutely.
I do.
Yeah.
And this is also why we made a lot of jokes about Train and about Maroon 5 or anything else.
Totally jokes.
Quite literally, we actually will not yuck your yum, and there is absolutely talent and amazement in all of those songs.
Yeah, they're famous for a reason.
Yes, if you love those songs, love the song.
Love it.
Because whatever it is that you listen to that brings you out, that launches you up, that inspires you, that gets your heart going, listen to it and love it, and it's beautiful.
Yes.
Because that's like music. It is. It is to me. You don't have to wait for a moment in a movie or for someone to say the right thing or to see the right rainbow, whatever. Like, it's just technology has made it so it can be right in your pocket.
Yep.
Just shuffle.
Yep. I'm going to quote my friend Chris Trainer, who's the guitar player of bands like Orange 9mm and Helmet and now Bush.
Wow.
And he said to me once, he said, music is the only art form that passes through you. Ooh. Well done, Chris. So when he said that to me, it really, really has stayed with me because it's true. And when you brought up the fact that it's one of the quickest ways to access the upward spiral, it is because the response in our bodies to that sound is so immediate.
Yes.
Our eyes, we can watch a film, we can see something that's beautiful, we can.
Yes.
But there's something about music. It passes through your whole body. Those wavelengths are going from the top of your skin all the way through your heart.
Yeah.
So
Back out again.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's true. It's true. So that was part of the reason for this episode, is to remind you all of the importance of music. And we'll be doing that a lot.
A lot.
We'll be doing drops and lots of things. Drops of Jupiter.
See you on drop part 99.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you got it, baby.
All right, kids, you guys ready for?
I'm ready.
Ready to strap in?
I'm strapped.
All right.
I have a silent strap. I invested.
Here comes your catapult.
Get out of